In this week's portion, we see that Jacob is fleeing from his brother Esav. We know that Jacob was named Yaakov because he was grasping at the heel of his brother Esav from birth. Our sages point out that we go through a series of exiles and redemptions, but this last exile is the exile of Esav, of Edom. And so Yaakov represents a very key figure for our times. It's the power of Yaakov to grab and clutch in the heel and be able to overcome this very dark exile that we find ourselves in. So as Yaakov is running away from his brother Esav, it starts to get dark and he lies down, and out of protection he puts 12 stones around his head. He has this dream where he sees the angels ascending and descending, and after that he comes to and he realizes this is none other than the home of God. But what made it the home of God? If we say that Yaakov represents this final exile and the final redemption that we're going to see, then perhaps all the things that lead up to him calling this the home of God give us hints as to what we need to do in order to make that happen. First and foremost, the 12 stones around the head. Why the head? If you're protecting yourself from dangerous forces, wild animals, why just put stones around the head? Put it around the whole body. No, it's telling us something very profound here. You are where your mind is. He needs to, just like we all need to, protect our mind from foreign ideologies and philosophies. That was his main concern, and that is ours too if we want to prevail. What then happens? Well, we see that the 12 stones, says Rashi, were fighting. Who should be the closest to the tzaddik? Who gets to be the one right under his head? They all fought because they wanted this so badly. Well, here again, another lesson perhaps. 12 stones, 12 tribes. In order for us to get out of here, to prevail, we need to want holy things. We want to be the closest to the righteous individual. We want to be the closest, the one that he rests his head on. And it's okay to be jealous of our brothers for that, for holiness, because it'll push us each to be better, to be greater. But the next step, Rashi tells us, is eventually the 12 stones come together and turns into one giant stone that he puts his head on. When Jacob later wishes to reveal what will be at the end of the days, it says that God concealed it from him, and he says, fine, gather and I'll give you all your blessings to all my sons. Rabbi Nachman says, no, he did indeed reveal what would be at the end. What's the key to success at the end? Gather. Just like the stones coming together, he's saying unity. Unity is one of the most important ingredients. Finally, let's add just one more detail. That he then has the dream, the vision of the sulam, the ladder going up to the heavens. The Kabbalists point out that the numerology of sulam is the same as kol. Hakol kol Yaakov, the voice of Yaakov. In order to prevail, in order to succeed, in order to bring redemption, we need to have the kol of Yaakov. It's not just enough to have a protected mind from foreign ideologies, foreign philosophies. We need to be like Yaakov, who was a man who sat in the tents and had this pure voice, speaking purely words of Torah, words of prayer. With all of these, protecting our minds, coming together in unity, connecting to the kol, the truly Jewish voice, the voice of Torah and the voice of prayer. With all these, finally, like Yaakov, we come out of this long exile and we say this is none other than the house of God. We've built the house of God through prevailing in all the ways we've just said. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.